Hello again, Mike Newmeyer, financial advisor, 410-902-0464. Call me, free consultant, happy to help you with ideas about retirement. I'm going to spend a little time talking about something that has very little to do with finances today, but they're helpful ideas, I hope, okay? I've made some notes about things, and I'm going to call this building a support group. Now, people that are 50 years old are going to find, well, this isn't that interesting or necessary for most of them. But if you start building a support group now, if you're that age, or if you're older than that, you're going to find out that it's very helpful and very necessary as you age. All right, so here are my notes. What is a support group? What is it? What's it contain? What does it contain? It contains a number of things, and I've made some notes here. First of all, let's talk about healthcare. A support group for healthcare includes not only your primary physician, but any specialists that have something to do with conditions that you already have. Could be regarding your other than cardiac specialists. Could be a lot of things, and it includes mental health. If you have issues with psychological problems or whatever, it certainly would include those people. But it's a list of healthcare and specialists and primary physicians, and also where they're located, their names, their telephone numbers, and all of that. Now, everything I'm going to talk about has some relationship to a book that we provide our clients, which is Everything My Family Should Know. And in that, all your documents and all the phone numbers and all the contacts and so forth will be included. So you'd certainly have your doctor's name and telephone numbers and all that sort of thing. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to go on with this. So healthcare includes a number of things. You might have some home health care issues, and you'd have people there that are helping you with home health care. You might have people that take it as you get older, that drive you to appointments for health care. And that's very important to think about that ahead of time. One of the things we find is a lot of people move to relatively remote locations in retirement. And, if there's two people, two spouses, it's not as bad a situation as it will become if you lose a spouse and you're living in a remote area where, and let's say you don't feel competent anymore in driving, then these kinds of support services become even more important. So healthcare is not just the physician's help; it's a lot of other things, and not only is it particularly care, but it's also transportation. How are you going to get there? Unless you want to rely on remote, medical help, which has some concerns and considerations, most people are not going to want to do that. They're going to want to have regular checkups, and they're going to want to do those kinds of things, which we suggest is very important, to get checked out on a regular basis. Let the physician tell you how often, based on your overall health and conditions. But it definitely should be done on a regular basis. Home care. What is home care? Well, I'm not talking about home health care right this minute, although that can be an issue, as you age. I'm talking about the things around the home, having things fixed, your air conditioning, or other problems that you might have. What about taking care of your lawn, and et cetera, et cetera? Do you have people available to you as you get older? Some people will say, well, I cut my own lawn. Okay, fine. But what happens when you don't want to do it anymore? What happens? What about things like making your stairs safer, to walk up and down? Or do you need to get a chairlift? One of the things I noticed in homes, as I visited clients through the years, is that when it comes to stairs, most people have one railing on one side. But as you get older, you're going to find out it's better to have two railings, to be able to hold on to both rails. And it's little things like that are good to know and take action on. Making stairs safer, making doorways safer, things like that, whether you're using red tape on the floor to mark off, step downs or whatever it is. And lighting outside particularly, you go out at night time, to do something, to get something, whatever it is, and you need lighting out there. You need lighting out there. And you may want to have some monitoring cameras that you can look at the outside at any time that you want to just monitor, if there's anything going on. I know a lady that goes on a lot of vacations, and she's able, with her smartphone, she's notified when anyone is approaching the house, and she can look at that from we've got some very modern devices these days. But anyway, so home care, do you have a handyman service that you can use for plumbing issues, for electrical issues, for, the incidentals that develop on a regular time? People that will give you a sense of security as you get older. If you're going to stay in the house, and especially if you're going to stay alone, you need to build this entourage of people that can help you. This support group, very, very important. Personal care, we take it for granted at 65 that things aren't going to change, but they do. And so there's lots of things over time, activities of daily living, eating, toileting, bathing, transferring, those kinds of things can become issues over time, and that's just something we all share. So how are you going to take care of those things? Are you going to bring some health care, some home care in? Do you have insurance that helps with that kind of thing? Check out your Medicare benefits. Very, very important. Now, there's a Medicare handbook that's published every year. Typically, it's available at the post office. Worth looking at. You may be able to find information online. Look at the Medicare advantages that you pick up on an annual basis. They keep adding more because of aging population. So you should know what those things are all about and what kind of help you can get. And, it could be all kinds of different things. Look at your Medicare provider, whoever you're using. Do they offer a series of things? Do they have group events? Because what happens is we get older, we're not circulating in an office, we're not circulating in a business community. What's happening is we're more and more alone. So the more we can be part of groups, whether it's yoga training or dancing or playing cards, all those are what you'll find in senior facilities. Whether they're neighborhood facilities or senior centers, that kind of thing. There's a lot of things to do. A lot of people get depressed as they get older, and one of the answers to that, of course, is to circulate and be involved. Being involved in your neighborhood, building relationships with your neighbors, just simple things like helping them unload their car, as an example, to bring things in the house. Start some kind of contact. You're going to find this very important later on, that you have those contacts. In an emergency, you've got people around you that know you. Maybe you sponsor a potluck picnic or something like that. Anything that you can do to get involved with your neighborhood is very, very important. Okay, and then food and deliveries of food, etc., etc. You can go on Amazon Prime and get it delivered the same day or the next day. You can get away from driving to a grocery store to get things. You can get one big order a week, and maybe you fill it in with an item or two. Of course, you like to talk to the people at the grocery store and so forth, but the time may come when you can't drive or don't want to drive that much. And incidentally, along those lines, over time, as you become older and older, you're going to want to have people that will drive you places. And if it comes to the time where you don't want to drive at all, you need to know, and be able to contact Uber and services like that. You want to have this entourage, of support people that are around you and available to you. And then another point is fitness and wellness. Now, there's a lot of things we can do in the house, at home, on television or online, as far as doing some fitness activities. That's all true. But remember, the more contact you have with other human beings, the better off you're going to be. So if you can get to a fitness center or whatever, you'll find there's a lot of seniors there, people you can relate to age-wise and experience-wise, and it becomes a social event. You'll see people after they're finished with their time, they become friends. They schedule the same times to go to those places, and afterwards they get together for lunch or coffee or whatever. That's another opportunity to build relationships. I hope some of these ideas help you. I hope they do. And there's lots of publications, incidentally, that talk about these kinds of things. Go online, look for them. You can get lots of different ideas and help. Join your community centers. Get involved. The older you are, the more important it'll be. So if you're still working, start building these things now so that when you retire, they're there for you. Okay, folks, those are just some ideas for you. I'm going to talk to you next time about estate planning. Okay? Thank you very much.